Talk about a lot of confusing or even downright inaccurate news reporting. If you've been following the Sitzer Burnett class action lawsuit against the National Association of Realtors and against several large national brokerages, you may be very confused as to what happened on March 15th, 2024, when a settlement of the lawsuit was suddenly announced. Now, I know it can be difficult to understand legal language, but the number of usually reliable news sources who were reporting confused or even false information about the settlement was mind-boggling. I'm Laura Triratnobus with John L. Scott Real Estate Boise, and let's quickly talk about what the settlement will mean for you as a real estate buyer and/or seller, and it definitely will affect you. First, we need to get one big piece of business out of the way. You need to understand that real estate commissions have always been negotiable. There has never been a set commission, no matter what your brother-in-law's sister's best friend may have told you. Anyone who tells you there's such a thing as a set or fixed commission is wrong. Period. Even if that someone is a very famous news source that's usually reliable. If commissions had really been set by the National Association of Realtors or any other body, including local real estate groups, the Federal Trade Commission would have been on them like a flea on a dog, as that would have been a huge, huge violation of the federal antitrust laws. It's really amazing to me how many otherwise smart people who should have known better actually believed that real estate agents have been colluding to set commissions right in the face of the Federal Trade Commission. So please stop believing that. Second big piece of business. So many news stories have led with nonsense about how sellers won't be allowed to pay buyers' agents anymore. That is not true. Sellers will still be able to legally compensate the agents who bring successful buyers for their homes. The system won't work the way it does now, but there is nothing in the lawsuit settlement saying that sellers cannot compensate buyers' agents. Do I think most sellers will continue compensating buyers' agents? I do, and there's going to be more about that below. The settlement will bring about two major changes in the way that agents represent buyers. Okay, first, if you're a home buyer and you're planning to use a realtor to represent you, you and your agent will sign a buyer's representation agreement before you begin house hunting. I want to emphasize that this will not be optional. Here in Idaho, where I'm a realtor, we already use buyer's representation agreements, but only 13 or maybe 14 other states were doing so when the settlement was announced on March 15th. The rest will have to begin doing so by July, if not sooner, which is when we expect that the conditions of the settlement will come into force. So, what does a buyer's representation agreement do? It's not just a piece of paper. It outlines the responsibilities of both the agent and the client, including what the agent will do for the client and how the agent will be compensated for their work. Agents could be compensated directly by the buyers, or through seller concessions, or via negotiations outside of the MLS, or by some combination of these. It really remains to be seen how this will all shake out, and it will take some time. One thing for sure, it is always in the buyer's best interest to have professional representation. If buyers are thinking that they'll just have the seller's agent handle the sale, they need to remember that the seller's agent must put the seller's interests first. And that's not a great position for buyers to be in when it comes down to negotiating, now is it? By the way, if this video is helpful to you, please give it a like, that's a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment. Thank you. Okay, the second major change is that throughout the United States, our multiple listing services, or MLS, will not be allowed to show how much, if any, compensation a seller might be offering to the agent who brings a successful buyer for the home. Now, traditionally, a seller and his listing agent would work out the total amount of commission that the seller would pay the listing agent. And then that listing agent would use the MLS to offer a portion of that commission to the buyer's agent who brings a successful buyer for the property. It was often, but by no means always, half of the compensation that was offered by the seller. Since there will no longer be any offers of compensation on the MLS, negotiations between clients and agents and between sellers and buyers will have to be carried out for every single real estate transaction. Please be patient while everyone figures out how this works. It's a big change for everyone, whether you're an agent, a seller, or a buyer. But I am confident that we will find a way forward. The real estate industry is one of the biggest forces in the entire United States economy. There's no question that realtors and their clients will find innovative ways to buy and sell real estate under these new regulations. Leave your questions in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching.